Hello, thank you for joining me today on Yoga with Paige, where I try something that I've never really tried for the first time. So, if you are in the practice of setting intentions for the new month, that is what we are looking at today. So, stay tuned to get some spooky intentions as we make our way in through October, and we get to kind of chat about the month that we had before, kind of how that looked, maybe what we could do better, and just kind of go along and figure out kind of how to set a monthly intention. I set intentions for my yoga practice a decent amount. I've set more short-term intentions, say for the day or for the week, but I've never done a monthly intention. So this will be interesting. I'm excited to do it. I've been seeing it a lot all over social media lately, so we can dive right in whenever you're ready. And I do have my little spooky socks on. I wanted to get a little festive, and I realized that my Halloween gear is thoroughly lacking. So I will be rocking these little Halloween spooky spiderweb socks while we chat today in the spirit of Halloween, even though I am already sweating out here. It is hot in Florida. It does not ever really feel like fall. Sometimes we get a little bit of a winter in about December or January, but man, it is still just blazing out here. But I guess I wanted this chat to be like a look back on September. Say what your behaviors were, if you did set intentions, if you are in the habit of setting intentions, we can kind of take this a moment to reflect back on them and see maybe where we didn't live up to what we had set out to do, or just anything that happened. So obviously this first one, at the end of this month, the beginning of next month of November, we will be able to look back, I at least will be able to look back at these intentions that I set for myself and be able to see if I made the mark or if I missed it. But as this is the first one and I don't have anything written down for September, I cannot go back and see how I did. But I think that is why I'm so drawn to this practice right now, because I'm really like in my self-improvement, evolution girl era. And I think this will be a really good way to mark progression and kind of see how my priorities change month to month. Maybe I can even notice more patterns, more behaviors about myself, getting to know myself even better, that self-study, svadhyaya, that we talk about in our yoga practice. Everything that we learn about ourselves help us to dive deeper in, and it will help you across all areas. It won't just help you in your personal relationship with yourself, but this will also help to extend to all areas, to your work life, your other relationships, your hobbies, your career, your goals, your family, everything. So I'm really, really excited to kind of start this, and I will write these down in a journal and kind of make a written account for myself, not just in this chat. We won't be doing that today. We'll just kind of be talking about it. But I do think this might be a thing that I start to do at the first of every month. So I know today is the 2nd of the month, or the 3rd. It's October 3rd. It's Mean Girls reference. But just the general first days of the month. Okay, it doesn't have to be on the 1st every time. But I think this would be a good practice that we can start implementing together. So I'm excited to hear if you want to let me know if you already practice intentions, or if you are going to be joining along with me and kind of seeing where they take you now. I would love to know who's going to rock it out with me, and we can kind of build this community, this support together. So firstly, if you made your intentions last month, we can, if you haven't already, reflect back upon those and kind of not take a moment of silence. That seems very formal, but kind of take a moment of silence for that phase. I am a big fan of believing life your emotions, everything goes in cycles, it goes in phases. We fall in and out of different passions, of different hobbies, even like the style of music you listen to. Like in summer, I listen to a lot of country music, a lot of like more like reggae kind of stuff. And in winter, I don't as much. Like country music, I'm like, shut it off. Like I don't want to listen to that in January. So obviously that's a cyclical thing. But I notice as well, if I'm going through a lot of emotional turmoil, I'm drawn to different sorts of music for a different period. And I do believe that that translates to most areas of my life. Hobbies and things like that, especially very, very emotionally driven. And I've been witnessing that. So I think this will be really fun. I'm actually really, really excited. So we can kind of just take a few moments to even just think about the past few months, or maybe this summer as a whole, if you didn't make intentions. See kind of where your mind has been at. See what's been going on in your life, in your head, and this will probably help you make your own intentions for this upcoming fall. What do you kind of want to change? What do you want to work towards? What are a few of your goals that you want to actively take steps towards every day? And I think that's what this is about. It's not about making a change in one day. It's about either consistently taking the same steps every day or almost every day for the entire month to witness your progress, or to use it as a benchmark to really just keep those few thoughts in the back burner of your mind for this whole month and see how putting your attention in certain areas actually makes you act upon them differently. It focuses your energy better, and it can really help you transform your whole life. Month by month, year by year, we look back and, day by day, it doesn't seem like much changes, but it really does when we look back month by month, year by year. So if you need a little bit more time to reflect without my ramblingness, you can pause me now. Maybe jot it down in a journal if you have a pen and paper. If you're ready to set your October intentions with me, please do so now. Look back at that. Look and see all that you've grown and achieved and witnessed, and maybe some of the struggles that you've faced. And we can prepare to set our intentions for this upcoming month. And I will share mine with you. So my September, like I said, I didn't have actual intentions, but I have been noticing a few behavioral patterns in myself, in my head, the way that I treat myself, and in the way that I behave and interact with others that I do want to kind of start to change and mold and adapt. So this is where we are beginning with that. There's a few things that I do want to definitely get started on changing and evolving myself, my ways. Not to say that I am a terrible person or that I am doing awful. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that there's always room for improvement, really. Even when you think that you've made it, that you're finally there, there's always even minor chances to improve. And one of my intentions, so you can kind of follow along and like write down an intention for every one of mine, I say. And again, this is obviously our first one here together, so we're kind of feeling out how this is going to flow, how it's going to go. So definitely, I would love to know your experience down below. What would make these intentional videos every month better for you? How the experience, you would like the experience to go, how we can change it up for next month. That can be a new intention for this month. So my first real intention that I want to enact is to move a little bit slower, to be honest. A little bit of a background. I'm from the Midwest. I don't know why we call it the Midwest, because it's really like the Mid-East. I'm from Minnesota. I've always kind of done things fast, I feel like. Like I walk fast, I talk fast, sometimes I jumble over my words, like I can't get them out fast enough. I feel like I try to do things pretty quickly. And I've been noticing that I feel like it's becoming counterproductive, not counterintuitive, counterproductive to my productivity. Because on days where, say for instance, on days that I have to go to my night job begins at 3 p.m. and it goes until very late. So on days where I have to be at work by 3 p.m., I have to leave, by at least like 2:30, 2:45. So that means stopping whatever else I'm doing, making sure I'm ready for work. I've eaten by 2 o'clock-ish. So that's literally in the middle of my day. Like that is the mid-afternoon. That's super early to be like quitting my day. And I find that on those days that I know in the back of my mind that I have somewhere to jet off to, that I'm rushing. I'm rushing through things more. Like, it's like, ooh, even though you have 8 hours less of your day to fulfill all of these things, I still have it in my head that I need to get all of these boxes checked, that I still need to do every single thing that I can do on the days that I don't go to my night job. So I'm finding myself rushing through these things instead of prioritizing and picking the few that I want to get done that day and then kind of like leaving the rest and doing more on the other days and making those few priorities, like taking more time with them, taking care with them, moving slower. And I'm not doing that. And it's building up a lot of stress in my body and stress in myself because I'm kind of pressuring myself to get a lot more done than I think I should be in one day, on certain days, in certain situations. So one of my intentions for October is to slow it the heck down. Slow it down. Sure, we have things to do. Who doesn't have responsibilities and crap to get done? But we also need to remember to find this balance throughout every single one of our days, to not run ourselves completely ragged. Like running around, we need to be able to still not have so many things running through our brain that we are missing what is right in front of our faces. Like if I'm on a walk to go get something, I shouldn't be thinking about the 17,000 other things that I need to do. Oh, I'm making this caption in my head. I'm making this theme, this idea. I'm sending this message to a friend. I'm responding to this email, whatever it is. Maybe I should just be on the walk and I should notice what's going on. Maybe I see something that I've never noticed before, or I don't know, just like being in the present moment. We don't always need to be multitasking. And I found myself trying to multitask more often than not, which, yes, is good for efficiency sometimes, but not as much for your mental health. So I've been noticing that this has been stressing me out a little bit because on the days that I'm not rushing off to my night job, I feel inherently more relaxed. I'm in a better mood right when I wake up. My partner and I have been noticing this as well. It's actually kind of a joke now that I'm not in as good of a mood on the days that I have to go to my night job. And I think it is because of this very reason. I wake up and I know I have to go to work later. So right when I'm waking up, I'm already feeling a little bit more stressed because I feel like I have more on my plate. That's where this first intention comes from in October, to slow it down a little bit and really just enjoy this phase of life that I'm at right now. Maybe 2 years from now, I won't be working a night job anymore. And that thought right there gives me pause. That gives me a second to stop and think, wait, say even in a year from now, I'm not working that job anymore. Then a year from now, I'll be looking back at this time right now that I'm sitting in this present moment, and I'll be wondering what I was rushing towards, why I was rushing around so much. Because time passes, time never stops. These things never stop. So if we don't force ourselves to kind of stop in the middle of our day, stop in the middle of our thought and smell that flower and take the picture of the cute little animal, just simple little joys like that. If we don't force ourselves to stop and smell the roses, then we won't ever smell them. Nobody's going to make us smell them unless it's you. So I really, really do kind of want to slow down, try to find a little bit more balance in my work life and enjoy this phase that I'm at right now because I won't ever get it back. And I think that also going to Spain exactly a month from now, I'll be in Spain the entire month of November. So look out, stay tuned for videos coming from Spain. And I know when I visited there last year, I was really drawn to their culture, their way of life. They take naps in the middle of the day for like 2 hours. The whole city shuts down. People leave work, they leave school. And it seemed like a slower way of life, like a more casual, people would sit at a cafe for 4 hours together and just talk and spend half of their day just hanging out with friends. And it just seemed really, really romantic to me, almost in a way, coming from the United States, where we don't live like that, where we just live, we're constantly doing more and striving for more. So I'm really excited. I think that'll help me integrate. If I don't do well this month on that intention, that will help me. So that is my first intention for October. And I hope you got a chance to write down one of your intentions, or maybe pause this video right now and write your first one down yourself. My second intention for October is to eat healthier and make healthier choices for my body. And this is not to say, again, that I don't already make some decently healthy choices. I've been kind of playing around with different aspects of my diet. Say, instead of cutting out bread or wraps or things like that, I did find this kind of carb balancey wrap, and I did find keto buns that have been working out marvelously for me lately. The keto buns, I believe, are 16 grams of carbs, and I think 11 of them are from fiber. So that's only 5 grams of real carbs, which real carbs I definitely need. My partner does not. He could not touch a carb for a month and he would be fine, but I would die, I think, of crankiness. But the fiber is really good. So I'm getting a little bit of real carbs and then a decent amount of fiber, which is great for your body. We don't get enough fiber, I don't think, as a society here in the US especially. And I've been trying to pick up more veggies and make more salads. Like I said, I go through phases, and I definitely went through a big wrap phase. I was just making wraps for like every single meal, whether it be chicken or I would put my eggs in a little wrap with some sour cream and things. But I'm trying to implement more salads, and I want to just, I guess maybe my intention really is to love my body and love myself enough to want to make healthier choices. Because I already do sometimes, but then also working at a pizza place that makes like too good pizza. Like, I'm not even a pizza foodie person. Like, everybody seems to be super obsessed with pizza, and I really just don't understand it that much. But this pizza is super good, and I have found myself bringing home food way more often than I used to, and I start to rationalize it by, oh, these past 2 days I've eaten eggs and chicken and veggies. Yeah, I can bring home a pizza. So then I eat 3 slices of pizza for dinner, and then I have the rest of the pizza the next day, which is fine, but I feel it in my body now. I'm getting a little bit older. Every year, obviously, we get a little bit older, another revolution around the sun, and I'm feeling the difference in my body. When I eat these carbs, when I consume this processed food every once in a while, it really bogs me down, drains my energy completely. It sort of makes me cranky in a way. Like, yeah, sure, for the first bite, it feels really good and satisfactory. But afterwards, it drains my energy. It unmotivates me. It makes me feel sluggish and gross. It makes me mentally feel bad about myself, because then I start to feel guilty about what I just put in my body, about what I just did to my hardworking, beautiful vessel of a machine here, and all of the things that go with it. So I've started to notice the way that I feel different, the way that I think different about it. And I think I'm already on the right track for this month to be making healthier choices. This past weekend, I've been eating super healthy. I've been starting to eat really good yogurt and this really expensive fibrous granola that I buy online as a snack. It's like a chocolate granola, so I get like a little bit of my sweet fix, but it's protein, it's fiber, it's whole fats, it's good grains. So just making healthier choices is my second intention for October. But I want it to come, I'm going to put the festive socks on show. I want these healthy choices to come from a place of loving kindness for my body and what I want it to do, instead of forcing myself to, no, I really, really, really want that pizza, but I'm going to eat this salad and I'm going to be super sad because I'm eating this salad. No, it's like I want the mindset shift to come along with making healthier choices, if that makes any sense at all. I want to think about and acknowledge the fact that I am making a healthy choice for body and mind by choosing a healthier option, making myself feel better, and to consistently kind of make those options, because I do notice quite a difference in all of these things when I consistently eat pretty healthy. My energy skyrockets through the roof. People think I'm on drugs. I am happy all the time, like sober for weeks and weeks, and I'm just happy. Like people think I'm drunk, and more motivated to accomplish things. I get more creative, all of these things when I'm not bogged down by all of this processed crap. Ola. So that is my second intention for October, to make healthier choices for myself. And I urge you to do the same, even if this isn't an intention for yourself. I urge you to start just noticing what goes on, how your body feels when you put different foods into it. That's what I encourage you to do. But I also encourage you to write down your second intention if you haven't already. My third intention for October kind of goes along with the eating healthy choices. It is just a more basic, vague self-care. This is another one of my phases that I kind of fell off. I obviously like brush my teeth every day and do those things, but I fell off my skincare routine, and I started noticing how badly I was breaking out. So I have been hopping back on that the past 2 weeks, washing my face at least once a day, if not twice a day. I've been kind of OCD-ish about it lately, and moisturizing, and just taking the extra 10-15 minutes in the shower, exfoliate, do all of these things that sometimes felt like too much. Like it felt like I was wasting time, which I know investing time in yourself is never wasting time. And I need to practice more what I preach. I preach self-care to people because I know that it makes you feel different from the inside out. When you are taking care of yourself, your mental state, your body reflects that. When you act on yourself with love, and you are able to treat others and yourself from a more place of love, because you are receiving more love, it transforms, and you energetically send more love out. So I know that this has been a thing that I need to prioritize more. I need to make it a habit to every morning, every evening, have a little routine for myself. Even if it's not the most 25-step routine that some people have, if that works for them, that's great. I just need to find what I need to do for myself. I need to carve out this necessary time to check in with my body, with my skin, with my, my physical features, but as well as my mental. I fell off my meditation again, my meditation practice. I was going so strong there for a little bit, and I fell off it again. So just these little self-care things, whether it be exfoliating, loofahing my feet in the shower, or meditating in the morning. Whatever these need to be, and this will be kind of going along with this intention this month, is to figure that out. So kind of start playing around with what makes me feel the best, how I can implement this routine and make it a habit. Treat myself with more love. That is intention number 3, 4. Yeah. So write down another intention if you have one for yourself, if you have not done so already, and we will get to a big one, a big one that's been coming for me for a long time. So this next intention for October is going to be way more than a month-long intention. I just want to start to really bring this to the forefront of my mind every day, all the time. So beginning with October today, this has been a big one for me that I've been struggling with lately, is boundaries. And not really setting boundaries or coming up with boundaries, but rather maintaining them, keeping up with them. Because boundaries, if you make a boundary, that is great. But if you don't uphold it, it goes nowhere. It doesn't do anything for you. So I have been experiencing this, and I actually kind of was just able to come to the realization of what was going so wrong in my boundary setting and maintaining. And it had to do with the fact that I would set these boundaries. I would set these boundaries by basically stating what I wanted. I would state, well, I am no longer going to let people do X, Y, and Z, or let someone do this. And I would say it a few times, even maybe to them. Maybe I would say, nope, I am no longer going to do this. But then that was the end of the line. Like, I didn't push further past that. I didn't keep upholding these boundaries. And then I was getting so mad and irritated and angry with other people when they wouldn't uphold the boundaries, or when they wouldn't respect the boundaries that I wasn't upholding for myself, which honestly makes no sense when you think about it. It is not other people's responsibility to keep and create your boundaries that you want to set for yourself. It is your life. It is your life to create and set up however you want to. And if you are not upholding and making people respect these boundaries, a lot of people won't. A lot of people are selfish. A lot of people will walk over you if you let them. So you can't let them. You have to uphold your boundaries. And I actually started witnessing myself projecting these feelings onto other people. Like I said, I was getting angry with them until I realized I wasn't angry with them. I was angry with myself. I was angry deep down with myself for not respecting my own boundaries enough to say, no, this isn't what I want. This isn't what I want to do. I'm still a little angry with myself, but it's okay. We can always take this chance to notice what's going on, observe, and change it the next time it arises. So that's what we're doing here with this October intention. I am going to uphold my boundaries that I have set for myself. No matter who wants to pressure me to try to pressure me into anything, nobody can pressure you into anything that you don't want to do unless you let them. I don't care what it is. There is really no such thing in my mind as peer pressure. Peer pressure is the same as you letting yourself get swayed. If you just want my honest opinion, it might hurt to hear that. You might think that that's a good rationalization or justification for not following through with things that you want to do. Say you set out to go to the gym. You wanted to start working out, and your partner wanted you to stay home that morning and cuddle, snuggle up, watch a little movie in bed in the morning. That's not peer pressure. That is you allowing yourself and what your wants and your desires to be swayed by another person's wants and desires. That's cool. If they want to lie in bed in the morning, watch a little movie, snuggle up, that's okay. But if that's not what you want to do, then you shouldn't be doing it. Then you should be upholding your own boundaries that you have already created and set for yourself. And this is why it's so important to write them down, I think. Write down your boundaries so you can refer back to them. If you need to keep that little piece of paper in your pocket, or if you need to write a note in your phone that's on your lock screen all the time to constantly remind yourself, then do what you need to do. Because I know that there was a point where I was not upholding these boundaries because I felt like I would be letting the other person down. Like saying no, sticking up this boundary would harm our relationship, or would make them mad at me, or would let them down. When in reality, by doing that, by not upholding this boundary, I started harming my relationship with myself. And I started letting myself down. And I started making myself angry. So at the end of the day, when it comes to boundaries, you have a choice to make yourself happy, be satisfied with yourself and your choices, or to make other people happy. and make other people satisfied with you. And sometimes they still won't be satisfied with you. So really, it's your choice. Who do you want to be happy with you? Yourself or others? Whose life are you trying to live it for? I leave you with that question about boundaries and that intention setting for myself. Wow, you are really getting to know me on this chat, aren't you? Woo! So to kind of dial it back and make it not so serious after that intention, once you're done writing down your intention, I have a last intention that I have for this month that I've already started implementing yesterday. It was actually really, really fun. I did quite enjoy my Sunday. Usually Sundays are for meal prepping, planning, cleaning out the animal cage, doing laundry, doing kind of boring things like that, cleaning the house. But yesterday I filled it with hobbies. This is my intention for October. My last intention I'll share with you today is to find more creative hobbies, to expand and find a better outlet for myself. As I've been witnessing myself grow and evolve in the person that I'm becoming, I am kind of leaving behind some hobbies that I used to enjoy, but also not taking the time to find replacements for them. So I used to be an avid reader. I would read for hours. I could sit down and read a book for 6 hours if you let me, if I had nothing else to do. I could read an entire book in one sitting. And lately, as I do still enjoy reading, I'm falling away from it as I start to gather up more responsibilities and more things that I want to do and want to achieve and want to learn. Reading is it seems to be more passive for me, and it's not as stimulating. It's not as entertaining as it used to be. Sometimes I'll think that I want to read, like, oh, I have 2 hours of my own free time. Yes, I can finally sit down and like really engross myself in a book. And then 20 minutes will go by and I'm like, oof, I'm kind of bored of this. I don't really want to do it anymore. But, which is okay, which is totally okay. Like, I still love reading. I know I will forever read, and I'll probably pick it back up later, again at another time. But for right now, I want to find more creative hobbies. I'm really yearning to get more creative, and I've started to pick up sewing. So I don't know if you saw my little short or two that I posted a little bit ago for my husband's birthday last month. I got him a new sewing machine because his grandmother was a seamstress, and he actually does know how to sew, and he kind of showed me how to use the machine. But I think I've officially surpassed him in the sewing abilities department. He definitely loved it and has worked on quite a few projects. He's mended a few things, jeans and things of his, which is great. We don't have to take them to a tailor anymore, becoming more self-sufficient every day. But I have lately started to find fabrics of my own and find little things of my own that I've started making projects, and it's really, really fun. I went to Joann's yesterday, and I found in their little clearance department, I found a nice tie-dye print and a little bee print. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I just knew that I had to make something out of it. So when I came home, I was kind of looking around the house because I'm a very beginner seamstress. I know really not a lot about sewing. I know how to thread the needle. I kind of know how to work it, but yeah, it's a learning process for sure. But so I don't know how to really make anything. And I feel like clothes, the measurements, all that stuff is a little bit too advanced for me right now. So I'm kind of just like making random things. Like I've made my pet rats, like 4 pillows already. I made them a little blanket just to practice, how to like work this thing and flipping things inside out, stuffing things. And I made a tea towel out of this bee print. And it surprised me so much on how good it was. Pat myself on the back. Because I made it out of the bee print. I turned it inside out, all of these things. Anyway, I got to get creative. I put a little trim on the bottom of it, a different fabric, and I got to use different creative stitches and think of like other things I can make. Think of what prints I can put together. Think of how you even go about sewing them. Because if you've never sewn before, most of the things you make, you sew inside out. So you're sewing it on the back part, you are attaching different things, you're leaving spots open so you can fill it, and then you have to sew it back at the end after you flip it inside out. Man, I'm like ripping stitches, seams open and re-sewing, but it's a really, really fun learning process. So that is a recent hobby that I have really, really surprisingly loved and have gotten into. And my last intention for October is to find more hobbies like this, is to try new things. So getting outside my comfort zone. I never ever would have bought myself a sewing machine. Never. I really don't think, like in a million years, I would have bought myself a sewing machine. So I'm so glad that he wanted to kind of get back into it a little bit. He'd mentioned it in passing, and I surprised it with him for his birthday. And now it's become a birthday gift for both of us because now I really enjoy it as well. So I just want to allow my creativity to blossom and find new ways of using my brain, of working my brain, making those neural connections. And creativity is a great way to do that. You know, all of these things have their purpose in life, you know, like the mathematical skills, the critical thinking, problem solving, but we also need to lean into the artistic side, I don't know, where you can find inspiration, like where you can let your creative outlet out and see what you come up with. And you might really, really surprise yourself. So that was my last intention and really what I wanted to share with you. I'm sure this video is actually pretty long. I didn't think it was going to be this long. I really enjoyed making these intentions for the first time this month, and after this video ends, I'm going to go write them all down so I have them, maybe make a little, maybe like print them or like post them somewhere that I can see them. I'm going to put them, I'm just thinking about this now, I'm going to put them by my office, by my desk where I edit my videos and things. I'm going to put them up there and then I can change it out every month. So that is what I will do. I'm going to make those, and I encourage you to do the same, especially if you've never done intentions before. This was really, really fun. Maybe get together with a friend and do it with a friend. Do like a pumpkin carving, intention setting, October themed hangout session or something, and just have fun with it. Have fun with life. Have fun with these growth things. Have fun with growing. Have fun with it all. It's all a journey. I guess that's just really what I wanted to say. And thank you if you're still watching this. Wow. Thank you for tuning in to this long ramble of Yoga with Paige. And I look forward to next month's intentions. We will revisit the October intentions at the beginning of November and set new ones for the month ahead. So I would love to know if you want to share any of your intentions or if any of this resonated with you, any thoughts, experiences that came up as I was sharing. And yeah, I look forward to the next time we see each other, whether it be something like this or back on the mat. I am wishing you a very, very happy and blessed beginning to your October, and I thank you for journeying alongside here with me. Ooh, spooky time!